So God is inviting us into participation. And that's why I told you that the heaviest molecule of existence is intimacy. If you have not participated, you don't know what you are talking about. And the devil is looking not for those who are aware, but those who are participators. That's why when you talk, he wants to try you. Because it is in trial that you can tell who has experienced. The man who is aware of can talk until Christ is come. The man who is aware of can talk until trials come. You can find 10 believers all giving. Some are giving religiously. Others are giving because they are hoping things will happen. Others are giving because their parents taught them to give. It is only few that give by revelation. And the way you will know is that when there is a financial crisis, the one who knows it by revelation will give in and out of season. The one who is giving because it's a religious activity, he will come back to his mind and begin to replan, re-strategize, and restructure, because this giving did not come from experience. He has not handled that reality. In fact, in many African countries today, people are going back to African religion because they brought an awareness to them. They didn't teach them how to participate. And after doing it for a while, they now discovered what their forefathers gave them was more productive than what they told them in church. So they are going back. In fact, now that there is crisis in certain territories, there is a state in Nigeria where there was a massive exodus into the kingdom. And this is the problem that pastors bring to church and to the body of Christ. Evangelism is important, but evangelism stops at awareness. Discipleship is what takes you beyond awareness to epignosis. If you evangelize people and you stop there, now that they've come to the kingdom, and all you are teaching them now is what God can give, they will now see God as an object they can use for their self and for their pleasure. If you leave them at that level, you have caused more harm than good. And so when people were won into church or brought into church, the next thing they started teaching them prosperity. Give, it shall be given unto you. Do this, do that. They didn't teach them how to walk with God and know the ways of God. And so as crisis began to invade those cities, they discovered this God that you people spoke about eloquently is not protecting us like some of the equipments that we threw away. So they are going back now to call ancient sorcerers the last ones who are still alive. Because as they rejected those sorcerers, most of them died of hunger. So now in some states, they are going to beg and appease sorcerers. You are the only one who know how to conjure the power of this idol. Please don't be angry with your people. Come back. And the person will now say, where did you people keep me 25 years, for the past 25 years? So they will bring goat, bring cow to appease the man. They will now bring the man back as a king. And the first thing he will do is to select people and teach them first. So in some states in Nigeria now, they are awakening and activating idols. Because when the herdsmen came, they discovered church has no solution. When poverty came, they discovered church had no solution. Because out of our greed as pastors, we just lured people to do things. We didn't teach them how to walk with God until they know God for themselves. And because offering is increasing, church auditorium is full, we are excited. We didn't go through the rigor of teaching them how to know God. And so now that poverty has come, they need to go back to the fertility God and bring all the oblations needed for that God to prosper them. They need to go back to the God of thunder that protected them in 1930 when they were fighting the war to get their land. Because we didn't teach them how to know God. I can assure you that less than 5% of Christians in church today know God experientially. Spiritual knowledge is scarce. All we are doing is charisma, excitement, stirring people up. And because crisis has not come, you will not know those who are planted on the rock. And so very few have experience. When you have experience, the sign is that you don't walk with God for what God gives. You walk with God for who he is. And so you can say like Esther, if I perish, I perish. That's a man who has come into epignosis. He has participated. He can no longer deny it. Did you not read about Daniel? They were about to throw him into the lion's den. He prayed. God didn't show up. He said, I can't deny. I wish I'm able to deny, but I know too much to be able to deny. And he was thrown to the den of lions. When Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were to be thrown into the fire, they say, oh king, we will not be careful to answer you in this matter. Our God is able to save us, but even if he doesn't, we will not bow. That means what we know now is deeper than life. Death can no longer intimidate us to back down. God is able to save us, but even if he doesn't, we are standing with him. We know him too well to deny him. That kind of knowledge is called epignosis. If you have not come there, you may not really be a Christian.